Welcome, everyone, to today's empowering webinar. We're thrilled to have a very special guest with us, Reverend Joanne Angel Berry Colon, the founder of Holistic Fitness NY LLC. Reverend Joanne is a seasoned expert with over 40 years of experience in health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness. For the past 15 years, she has revolutionized her approach to holistic health by integrating various healing modalities, including Reiki, medical astrology, and numerology. In addition to being a certified holistic personal trainer, Reverend Joanne is a Reiki master and a master of numerology. She holds a BS in health, fitness, and nutrition from Empire State University. She is also the host of Joanne's Healing Within on Strong Island Television, available across multiple platforms, and the author of 6 books, among many other accomplishments. Her passion lies in helping women over 40 get strong, create discipline through strength training, and confidently pursue their soul's calling. Today, we'll dive into the profound role numbers play in her business, her unique approach to fitness, and how astrological and numerological insights can support personal transformation. Without further ado, let's welcome Reverend Joanne Angel Berry Colon to share her wisdom. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very excited to be here tonight.
Awesome. So let's just jump right into it, if you don't mind. How do numbers play a role in your business?
Well, for one, numbers carry what we call frequencies, vibrations, and meanings. And in everyday life, every one of us connect with numbers, whether it's on a license plate, a receipt, an address. And when we become more tuned to the understanding of what a number actually means, it's more than just a number. It becomes a message. And so many of us in our minds, in our thought process are always asking questions. We're curious. As we're human beings, we are curious. And when we become more aware of what specific numbers mean, we're literally getting the answers to the questions we're asking ourselves. So for example, if we're looking at a number such as, which is a common number, 1111. Many people get really excited when they see the number 1111. When we think about it, it's literally just 4 ones standing next to each other. But the 4 ones are a representation of connection. It's a representation of new beginnings, leadership, empowerment. It's about stability. It's also about the recognition of how these 4 numbers support us in our journeys, whatever that journey may be for each person, whether spiritual, emotional, mental, or physical for that matter. And that's just one number. And when we think about that number 11, it's known as a master number. And a master number, the meaning behind it is the master healer. And every one of us are here to heal something, whether it's healing our body so we can be strong and healthy and a healthier version of ourselves, or it's about healing a relationship, or healing our career, or even healing the money that we are here to make. So when we think about this number 111 as this powerful insight that when we see it, it's also about making a wish, whatever that wish may be. And that's just one number when it comes to numbers having specific meanings. And when we think about numbers in itself, every number from 0 all the way up to 99 can be reduced down to a single digit, from 1 to 9. And each one of those numbers have a very specific meaning, vibration, and frequency. And playing with these numbers when working with clients helps them to better understand who they are through everything they're experiencing from the day-to-day life.
Okay, so can you give like a practical example of a number and how you or perhaps one of your clients have used it in business?
Practical. Yes, practical. I love that question. When we think about our age in general, like for me, I'm 54 years old. So theoretically, the number 5 and 4, when I meet a person and I have a conversation with them, the idea is that I like to get to know that person on a soul level. It's not just getting to know them from the 3D of what I can see them. It's really getting to understand who they are. And based on that particular age, such as 54, the current energies I'm holding right now, that 5 is a representation of the change that I'm experiencing. Changes of every day, and also the changes that I'm experiencing with my physical body. After all, when we think about the number 54, it definitely qualifies to be the midlife chapter that I'm in at this point in time. So it's that change, it's the freedom, it's being courageous enough to be curious enough to want to really learn about what my body is trying to tell me during this journey that I'm on. And then when we look at the number 4, 4 is about the balance. Now, I truly believe the body is our temple. And being that the body is our temple, we get messages from our body based on the different every day that we go through, whether it's through pain, through an illness, or even disease, or just the everyday stiffness that may occur from just sitting too long or not getting the proper nutrition that we need in our everyday life. So when we think about those messages that come through, that number 4 is a reminder of how can we bring more balance into our lives, whether it's about getting more rest or getting outside and taking that walk. Or my favorite, strength training progressive overload to keep our bodies strong so we can have a stronger foundation. Because when we think about number 4, it's that foundation that holds within us. And when we stand in our own foundation, in that more strong, confident, powerful space, it shows up as confidence. So now we take that 54 and we're going to reduce it. We're going to add those 2 numbers and we're going to get 9. Now, the number 9 is a very powerful energy because it carries the vibration of all the numbers from 1 to 9. Because again, in numerology, every number gets taken down to a single digit and it only goes from 1 to 9, unless, of course, it's a master number, which we spoke on before. So that 9 is about letting go of something. It's about a completion. It's about an ending. It's about a transformation that we're undergoing. So just from getting to know that person's age, I get to go in a little deeper to get a better understanding of who they are in that part of their life at that point. And then I get to explain that to them so they can better understand their journey that they're on at that very moment on, yes, they're in a transitional period. They're in an evolutionary period. They're in a space where they're about to transform emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and of course, physically.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you. Now tell us a little bit about holistic fitness and why.
Oh, that's a lovely question. Now, when we talk about holistic fitness and why, let's just look at the word holistic first. Now, it's spelled with a W as opposed to starting off with the H, which is the common way of saying holistic practices. And why I chose to use the letter W is because as a person, we are a whole person. It's not just about working with our physical body. It's about really connecting the emotional process, the mindset, and then, of course, connecting with ourselves as a spiritual being. So breaking it all down, when we think about the physical person is our actual body, the connection we have with our body, becoming more embodied with our body so we can better understand who we are and gain the insight that our body is trying to tell us. One thing for sure, as humans, we're always looking for answers from the outside. And when we really think about it, all the answers lie within us. And when we become more attuned to our physical body, we can then become aware of what those messages are. When we think about the emotional components of things, we can work on whatever emotions that we might have pushed down, might have tried to ignore for that matter, that may very well show up in the body. Because again, my belief system is that when we have pain or illness or disease that shows up, it's showing up because there's an emotion that hasn't been addressed or maybe has been suppressed, and now it's showing up for us to work on it. And then the mindset, going into that space of recognizing that we can literally change things, heal our bodies just from changing our whole mindset from the approach of what we've been programmed to believe to rewiring our brain to believing something different. And I have witnessed and I've experienced it for myself that we can literally heal our body just from changing our thoughts. So when we take those 3 components, the physical, the emotional, and the mental, and we work on those 3, we bring in the spiritual aspects of things because we are spiritual beings. Every one of us are spiritual beings having multitudes of human experiences. And maybe a part of the human experience is to experience whatever the journey is that might be related to pain, illness, or disease, or for that matter, even the weight that we carry. Now, my approach at Holistic Fitness and why it's not conventional. It's a revolutionizing approach where I actually teach and help midlife women understand their health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness prescriptions plans by reestablishing a whole new relationship as opposed to what I like to call the cookie cutter approach to exercise, the cookie cutter approach to nutrition. It's not a one size fit all. It really is about understanding what the weight, the physical weight that is, and I like to refer to as the metaphysical explanation. When we talk about obesity, we talk about overweight, we talk about maybe being overfat and under muscle. The metaphysical components of that is we psychologically build a physical wall around us to protect us from something or someone. And that physical wall that's built around us happens to start to be built at a very early age based on whatever trauma occurred at that point in time. Now, when working with a midlife woman, I hold the space for them so they can share that story. And upon sharing that story, whatever that horrific story is, it gives them this ability to release what I like to call release the issues from their tissues so they can begin to release the emotional weight that they hold on to. And upon doing that, again, it's developing this revolutionizing approach to it's not about dieting. It really is about just reshaping our bodies so we can have a stronger foundation and feel more comfortable and confident in the body that we're in so we can fall in love with ourselves and our body.
Well, that's beautiful. Can we talk about now? You have cards, right? And I think they're pictured behind you. And I understand that they're also available on Amazon.
Yes,
I'd like to even maybe if I could share my screen real quick and then you could talk about it. Is that okay?
definitely.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so here we go. Chakra Balanced Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Deck. So what is
Yes.
this about?
Well, that's a mouthful in itself.
Yeah.
As you can see on the screen share, and as you can see behind me, cards are very colorful. There's 45 cards to the deck, and each card has three elements: a color, a number, and a word. The color is associated with our chakra system, which is very much associated with our organs, our physical body, and numbers. In addition to the numbers, as we just spoke about, talks about the energy that when we're seeing different numbers, the messages that comes through there. And then we also have the word. The word can be used for two things. First thing is it's a affirmation. The second is, which I find more often to be true, is that the word is also a part of the story that one is experiencing. And perhaps maybe if we have a little time, I'll pull a card because I do have my deck here. And each one of those cards, whether I do a 1 card reading or I do a 12 card reading, the person walks away with an amazing knowledge of whatever's going on in their life at that time. Now, come back to those colors for just a moment. So when I am providing a reading and the color shows up, like let's say, for example, the yellow. The yellow represents our solar plex energy. Our solar plex is our gut knowing. We all have intuition. We were born with it. In fact, for our midlife women and any woman for that matter, we have a very strong instinct, more so than men. However, not every woman is using their intuition because they are so programmed to believe things from the outside energy as opposed to really tapping in within to connect with their intuition. Once they actually learn how to connect with their intuition, they begin to let go of the insecurities, the doubts, the not feeling good enough, the not feeling worthy, the not feeling valued and respected. And they move on to a sense of abundance. They move on to a sense of self-value and self-respect and being open to the abilities of that, knowing that they are capable and have the birthright of having abundance in their life, whether that abundance is of health, finances, great relationships, career, whatever it is. So that one card provides that much information and then helps me to help the person I'm reading for, help them to tap into that one chakra that may need a little work on just to clear the energy so they can actually begin to be more tuned to that particular energy field.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So, last question before we go is what makes you stand out in your industry?
Oh, well, I think everything I just said, based on when I work with women, midlife women come to me, majority of the time when women go to work with a personal trainer, their ideal goal is that they want to either lose weight or they want to fit in a specific outfit or there's a specific goal in mind. And what makes me stand out is that when a client comes to me, my approach is not about looking at what they weigh. My approach is actually encouraging them not to be fixated on the weight that they are and actually be mindful and have an open mind that perhaps we're not going to be losing weight at all. Because again, it's not about weight loss, it is about transforming. We want to become what we call more muscle and less fat. And when we can have more muscle and less fat, our bodies look very different. So the approach of, as I said earlier, it's non-conventional and it's more revolutionizing. When working with clients, their program, as I like to refer to, is known as a body and soul transformation prescription plan that consists of many, many tools, such as, again, personal training, card readings, Reiki, numerology, and many other healing modalities that I apply so they can better understand who they are from a soul level, as opposed to who they were programmed to believe who they are. And I find that to be something that many people often walk around really not knowing who they are until they really take that, what we call self-discovery. Because we've been programmed since we're little kids of who we are, what we're meant to be, what career we're meant to go into. And then for many, follow that pursuit of what that is, and then eventually get to a point in their lives where they're just feeling out of alignment. And that they start asking themselves, what more is there? There's got to be something more than what's going on right now. And most of the time, that's when most people are aligned to me because I have the answers that provide them that insight that they're looking for. Who am I? Why am I here? And what's my legacy? And what's my soul's purpose? And that's what makes me stand out in my industry. It's not a cookie cutter approach, and it's definitely not about weight loss. It's about releasing the emotional weight so they can transform and fall in love with the body they are in and have the confidence to be seen, be heard, and stand into their soul's work.
Well, thank you so much, Joanne. And thank you all for joining us today and listening to the insightful and inspiring Reverend Joanne Angelberry Colon. Her passion for holistic fitness and wellness is truly transformative. And I hope you leave today with new perspectives on how numbers, astrology, and numerology can enrich not only your health journey, but your overall life. Reverend Joanne's unique approach stands out in the wellness industry, and we're so grateful she took the time to share her expertise with us. For more information about her programs and resources, including her Chakra Balanced Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck, visit her website at holisticfitnessny.com. And remember, strength and wellness are not just physical, they are also deeply connected to your soul's purpose. Keep exploring, stay empowered, and thank you again for being part of today's transformative webinar.